What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN, Zebec today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It is the 8th day of September, and here we are at about $0.04127 right now. 2 hours, 20 minutes left in the day. Up 7.7% on the day. Had a little bit of a wick to the upside. I'm not too impressed with this. I still do believe that we have lower to go, but days like this, I believe, are there to psych people out, make them FOMO in right before we see that final drop where you could have bought the low, but no, you bought the high instead, or the relative high. And again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It's very possible that that was the low. We're very accepting of that as a reality. And if it's not the low, in the case that some people did FOMO here and we do go lower, it's definitely not the right thing to do to sell here, right? You buy here, that's okay, right? Hold through the pain and then wait for it to come back. It will come back, and you'll be vindicated, you'll be validated. It'll all be fine, right? We'll sing Kumbaya in just a day or two. But for now, I do think that we actually will. I say a day or two, and it'll be more like a week or two. Over the next couple of days, over the next few days, I would think that we do continue to move down, right? Overall, I'm expecting that we do interact with this golden ratio zone from a low to a high, right? Not the fake out high, but just that high there. And the golden ratio is at about 0.033 to 0.031, somewhere in that zone there. We're at 0.041 now, so we do have a little bit lower to go. 2 hours, 19 minutes left in this day. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily, okay? Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Whew. Looking at the 1 hour. It's actually not a bad look on the 1 hour, I have to admit. I like that W shape there. I just don't like that you got above this here and you didn't do anything with it. You rejected immediately. I don't like that in itself. The RSI looks okay. The stochastics, I'm not a big fan, but they look all right, I suppose. The MACD just crossed red. I would think that you do want to come down. I think this is just a fake out or a shakeout, but to the upside, a bull trap. Let's call it a bull trap, right? That's what I think it is. You probably do move lower. If we move higher, don't get too excited, right? The time to get excited for ZBCN, I think, would be once we start seeing days close above here. If you can get some days to close above 0.042, that might convince me that the low is in. And I say days, some days, 2 days in a row, right? That's what it would take. If you want just a 1 day close to validate, I would say from a high to a low here, close above, maybe close above that 382, close above like 0.0433. 0.046 would do it as well. 0.0462, 465, something in that area would do it. But I think 0.0435 might be enough to get excited about. 0.042 would be something enough to get excited about as well. But until we close a day, not just wick above there, I'm not too ecstatic about this. I think that it's just a bull trap. It's just some psyop shenanigans before we see that final drop, right? It's like here, not only did you move up, but you took out these relative little high wicks right here. You got above this daily high close, and then you move down, right? If you bought right there, you bought at the worst possible time, and then we moved down. As soon as we had a higher high, then we moved down, right? So I'm just thinking in my head, this is probably not something to get too eager about. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame, okay? 4 hour time frame here. I have to admit, though, looking at this, I really actually do like the way this is shaped. It depends on what we do. You know, if this next day, if over the next day or two we move up, I'll probably be wrong. Because if we move up over the next day or two, if we keep doing this, I mean, that's a good look. That would make me think that we're going all the way up above here. If we make it up that high, you guys, there's no denying it that the low is in. And it's something, again, very important to address, that it's very possible that the low is in. It's important that if you want to be a part of ZBCN, you want to invest, you want to be a part of the journey up to the upside, that you're at least somewhat allocated. If ZBCN is your biggest bag, it's a significant part of your portfolio, and you can afford to be patient, do that. Be patient, wait. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm just saying that's what I would do, right? If I had no allocation in ZBCN, but I've wanted to, you're at a pretty sizable discount right now. There's no reason why you shouldn't be DCAing a little bit into it now, right? Just in case, right? We're expecting it to go lower, but just in case it doesn't, just in case it goes up, because again, the amount that it goes lower is nothing compared to the amount higher that it's going to go, right? 4 hour time frame here. I really do like the price action. The RSI does have a bullish posturing right now. It looks all right, and the stochastics do as well, but you're looking like you want to come down. The MACD, if we're looking at the MACD here, I mean, you're crossing up above the 0, which is nice to see, but you might... I'm not too excited about that, only because You know, it is the 4 hour, and we have been moving sideways. Here, when we crossed above the zero, that promoted a little bit of growth, but that was right before we moved down, right? That was kind of your fake movements up, and then we moved down. Here, you crossed above the zero. That was right at this high. Here, we're crossing above the zero. I don't know. It's the time before that we crossed above the zero. It's just left a sour taste in our mouth the last few times it's done it. So I'm not really too happy about this, more than I would say cautious. I'm probably very cautious about this, is what I'd say. Cautious to be bullish. But again, depending on what we do, like if tomorrow I make a ZBCN video and we're up here, might have to get bullish on it. Might have to just call a spade and accept that this is the low and that we're moving up higher. It's a nice look on the price action. It really is a nice look so far, but can you keep it up? You know, this was a nice look right here. That was a nice look until you gave it up, right? Anyways, 4 hour time frame. Looking at the indicators again. I don't have a problem with the RSI. Stochastics make me think you want to go lower, and the MACD makes me think you want to go lower as well. Daily time frame, looking at this here. The RSI actually does look nice. This is something I was looking at earlier that I feel like I missed. I don't know. Maybe we talked about it one time. I don't remember talking about this in my last couple of videos, but you bounced off the oversold zone, which is pretty good. You know, you looked like you were finding resistance here, but you've broken out of your downtrend, it seems, right? It does seem as though you've broken out of your downtrend on the daily RSI. That's pretty significant. That's a really good point in the favor of the bulls for validating this as a low. The stochastics do have higher lows, right? You rejected this area out the band, that's not good, but then bounced off the oversold zone, that is good. You're looking kind of good right now in your stochastics. The MACD has been building bearish momentum for a while. You're kind of at a point where you'd expect the blue line to come back down, start to diverge away from the orange line, and you build some more bearish momentum, but you get a higher low on the histogram, something like that. So maybe a double bullish divergence look will happen. With that, you would think, or at least I would think, and I would expect that we do see lower prices than this. Again, the low area to anticipate would be about 0033 to 0031, something in that area there. Man, I love this chair. I could just fall asleep right now, you guys. I did not get good sleep. Oh, I need to wake up. I need to not sit back like this, but probably for the rest of the video I will, just because I'm so comfortable. And I got these little pillows here too, like right under my arms. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. I got one on each side, baby. It's good. It's real good. Anyways, but it's not good for staying awake. Anyways, looking at the weekly time frame, this will wake us up a little bit. Looking at this here, the weekly stochastics. Come on now. Oh, I've got the brush on. That's why. Weekly stochastics are neutral, but the blue line is shifted up, which is nice to see. I do expect that we have lower to go. Again, I've said that a few times, but I think that this next week, between now and the end of this week, we should have our low, and sometime next week, you know, during the FOMC meeting, or during that week after the FOMC meeting, we should be moving up. Going into the end of the month, we really should be moving up, and with that, I don't think the stochastics are going to be in any kind of jeopardy. I think that we're going to be in good shape here. Bouncing off of this area without getting oversold and returning to the overbought zone is a very powerful look. So I think that you're going to get that inevitably. The weekly RSI is showing a bit of a double bottom. We're bouncing off of the 50 area here. You are slumping a little bit. You did have a nice trajectory here with these higher lows. You are slumping a little bit. I'll show you what I mean, right? Like you had this, whoops, I can't draw a straight line to save my life. But you were, you know, kind of coming up like this. Now you're slumping. You're like rolling over a little bit. That's not ideal. But honestly, I mean, you're above the 50 still. You're finding support here. You're getting overbought. You're not getting oversold. Overall, the weekly RSI is great. I mean, it's not perfect right now. But if over the next couple of weeks we start to close green, we really start to move up higher, it would look pretty damn perfect. It would look pretty good. So I'm not worried about it at all. I'm just looking for things to complain about, really. The stochastics are all right, and the MACD overall is bullish as hell. You're actually the most bearish on your MACD that you've ever, well, maybe not the most bearish, but you've seen the most dramatic histograms to the red side, the bearish effect that we've ever seen. This is when you were the most bearish, was back here, and that wasn't even that bearish, but here you've definitely got the strongest histograms, and even with that, you've got a higher low in the weekly time frame. That's hidden bullish divergence for those of you that aren't aware. I'm not worried about this at all. Right? Technically, throughout your history, you've only ever seen 2 weeks close red on the histogram. We've got that now, so maybe next week does close green. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if after the FOMC meeting we really started to see this thing come to life. But again, we're expecting the big moves to happen once you're above this high. Once you get above 0.006, that's when the big move should happen. You should be, moving up here, maybe find some turbulence, move up here, maybe find some turbulence, and then whenever you get above there, that's whenever you should be picking up the pace, moving up to that 2 to 4.5 cent area. Specifically, I'm thinking you go to 3 to 4.5 cents by the end of October, if not maybe sometime in November. Much higher than that, much higher prices are anticipated by the end of the year. I don't really have anything else that I want to say, so I'm going to end it there. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to throw the ribbon on there real quick. Let me just see here. I like the weekly ribbon. I think it looks great. 3-day ribbon. The 3-day makes me think, this really is what makes me think that we have lower to go. I'd be surprised if we didn't go lower, but just because it surprised me doesn't mean we have to. And the daily ribbon right here, this rejection, that looks like a rejection, so I would think that we go lower as well. Fresh cross down, come down a little bit lower. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.